Hey guys, I'm Tom the Tech Chap, and this is the new iPhone 11 Pro. I just want to do a quick unboxing for you, run you through what's new and some of my first impressions. I'm actually in a hotel right now in Munich. I'm here for the Huawei Mate 30 launch, which is going to be kind of interesting actually. But today I want to talk about the iPhone 11, which of course is a very expensive phone, but not as expensive as these. €6 in the Hilton for a bottle of water. It makes this look good value. So as I'm sure you know, there are three new iPhones. We've got the iPhone 11, the 11 Pro, which I've got here, and then the 11 Pro Max, which is just a terrible name. So this is £1,050 or $1,000. It's kind of like the sequel, the next version of the iPhone XS. The standard iPhone 11 is kind of like the replacement to the XR, which honestly, for the price, it's about £650, £700, I think is going to be great. I think a lot of people are going to buy this. But there are a few reasons why you may want to pay a bit more and go for one of the Pro models, which I'll come to in a second. But you put that to one side. Elsewhere in the box, it's a pretty standard affair. You've got some earphones, the USB to Lightning cable, still Lightning, no USB-C on this, unfortunately. I guess 2020 is probably going to be the year where we get 5G and USB-C, so for those reasons actually it may be worth holding off. So we get the cable, but more interestingly, we actually now get a fast charger in the box. The Pro and the Pro Max get this as an 18-watt charger compared to the standard 5-watt charger you get with the standard iPhone 11 and all previous iPhones. So it's obviously not going to be as fast as Huawei's 40-watt or OnePlus's 30-watt warp charging tech, but 18-watt is still a lot more than 5, so we should actually get some decent charging times on the new iPhone. And there it is, and as you can see, it's an iPhone. It looks just the same as before from the front. iOS 13, which is nice because we get things like dark mode now, although of course that will come to older iPhones as well. The headline new feature really is that camera, but as well as that, we also have the new Apple A13 chip, which is just incredibly powerful, the most powerful CPU and GPU in a phone, according to Apple at least. We've also got this new glass back, which on the Pro models has this matte finish rather than the glossy finish, which I do like, and it's kind of one way, aside from the camera module, of telling the difference between the different models. One thing that does annoy me a little bit is the fact that the storage on both the Pro models still starts at 64 gigs, which is just not enough, in my opinion, in 2019, especially when it starts, as I say, at £1,050. Obviously, there's no micro SD or expandable memory, but it does just feel a bit cheap that 64 gig on these Pro models is still the base option. So yeah. The screen's also a little bit brighter. It can peak at 1200 nits when you're watching HDR videos, which is pretty cool. And it is obviously still a gorgeous phone to use. And I actually also really like this size as well. I still think the Pro Max is just a bit big. Apple say that we're actually going to get 4 hours more battery out of this than last year's XS. And on the Max, the new Pro Max, you get 5 hours more than last year. So that is a big boost in battery, which is great to see. But it really is all about this camera. And on the Pro models, we have this new triple lens setup. We've got the standard wide lens, the telephoto 2x lens, and the ultra wide lens. So what that means is altogether, you can get 4 times optical zoom between being zoomed out and then zooming in all the way. And one of the things I really love about this is that actually in the camera app, you have this sort of translucent border around it, which kind of shows you what you'd get in the scene if you do then zoom out. And of course, then you can go back to the main lens and then the ultra wide lens and zoom in on those €6 bottles of water. You can now shoot 4K 60 video with all 3 lenses, which is really cool. And there's some great apps like Filmic Pro, which will actually let you film with all 3 lenses at the same time, which is really cool. I can definitely see myself using that. So a new lens, better video capability, but I think for me, the best part of the new camera is the night mode, which actually works automatically. You don't have to scroll in the app to a specific night mode. It'll detect if you're in low light and then give you between a 1 and 3 second long exposure. If you're holding it, if it's on a tripod, it can go up to, I think, 6 or 7 seconds, and it just looks so good. I also appreciate that the selfie camera now has a slightly wider field of view. It's quite smart, actually. If you spin it to selfie mode, and then you put it landscape, it automatically zooms out a little bit because it guesses you're going to have more of your friends in the frame. And I think that's really handy because one of the problems I've had with iPhones in the past, if you're doing a group selfie, is that the field of view was quite narrow, so that really does help. So first impressions, well, it doesn't feel like a big step up if I'm honest. The new chip is nice, the much better battery is nice, and of course that camera is fantastic, but it doesn't feel like an 11, you know, it feels like a XS in a way. We've still got the fairly chunky notch, and compared to some other 2019 Android phones, the bezels are starting to look a little bit thick, but you know what, it doesn't really matter. It's still a wonderful phone to use. Although, that camera module is going to be very divisive. It kind of reminds me like of sort of a spidery, arachnid eye thing. I don't like it. I really don't like it. It's not a problem necessarily how often you're looking at the back of your phone, and you might just put a case on it anyway. But while I do really like this matte finish, I think silver looks good, as does the midnight green, I can't say I like that at all. But obviously design is very subjective, and you may completely disagree with me, so let me know what you think of this in the comments below. And if you're thinking about buying on, which one you're gonna go for, although I do think most people will be best off with the basic 11, which is really good value for money, although you're still getting a 720p LCD in 2019, which is not great, but yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all my videos coming up on this. I'll see you next time right here on the Tech Chat.